Okay, let's get into this. Imagine you find your perfect home, right? A quiet spot in a cool neighborhood. But then, it becomes the backdrop for something really unsettling. Today, we're going to recount a series of events so bizarre, honestly, so terrifying, feels like it's straight out of Nightmare. We're using an account from a YouTube transcript from a channel called Mr. Nightmare. It's about a guy named Ivan and his increasingly disturbing encounters with a neighbor. So our goal today is to walk you through these strange incidents, how they escalated, and how this dream apartment just turned into a place of real fear. Ivan's search for the right place, it was a bit of a journey, actually. He'd moved around quite a bit. Hometown, then Orlando, then back to Western New York, looking for that perfect spot. And eventually he finds what seems like it, an attic apartment in this old mansion, right? Converted into flats, located downtown in the neighborhood of the arts. Sounded great, especially for someone creative. Now, the place was a 3-bedroom. So to cover the rent, Ivan moved in with one of his best friends from childhood.
And then later, another roommate joined, making 3 of them in the first year. Totally smooth sailing. Pretty uneventful, which is, what you want. They did have these loud neighbors downstairs, a couple always fighting. Super loud, everyone heard it. One time it got so bad, one locked the other out naked. Police got called, which was extra awkward because the building's right across from a school. But Ivan and his roommates, they just tried to stay out of it, keep to themselves, Okay, so after about a year, new neighbors move in. Apartment 2, just below Ivan's attic place. A young couple, seemed maybe late 20s or early 30s. Initially, perfectly friendly. Always said hello, seemed decent. For that first maybe year and a half, they were just normal neighbors. No red flags yet. Then things started getting a bit strange. Ivan comes home from work one day, sees new furniture out on the front porch. He figures it belongs to the couple in apartment 2 because their entrance is right there. As he's going in, the guy from apartment 2 comes out, introduces himself, says he's John, and he tells Ivan he wants to build community in the building. Ivan thought, okay, sounds good. He's community-minded too. Seemed positive at first. So for a few days, Ivan actually hangs out on this new porch furniture, reading, working, enjoying the weather. Nice, right?
And it's interesting how something that starts sounding positive, this building community, it can curdle pretty fast. That act of putting out furniture, wanting to connect, sometimes it's genuine. Other times maybe it's the start of something, a way to sort of establish presence.
Definitely. So just a few days after meeting John, Ivan finds him outside talking with another neighbor. Turns out another tenant's motorcycle got stolen, right for the driveway. So there's this little tenant meeting on the porch waiting for the police, trying to deport the guy whose bike it was. Once the cops showed up, Ivan just went back upstairs. Figured he'd let them handle it. Just bad luck, a neighborhood issue. But the very next day, Ivan gets home from work, and his roommate immediately asks him about John. Apparently, John had left gifts for every apartment, and each gift was different. Ivan and his roommate got this shoebox. It wasn't empty, it was full of stuff. Comics, books, toys, and chocolates. Both Ivan and his roommate just thought, that's weird, really odd, specifically chosen weird. But then the roommate hits him with something really chilling. He says, John left a note with the gift. And his name wasn't John, it was Sean, S-E-A. Ivan's first reaction was, oh, maybe I just misheard him. John, Sean, they can sound similar. But then he remembered clearly, the guy hadn't just said his name. He'd spelled it out for Ivan, S-E-A-N. So he lied, deliberately.
Yeah, that's a big one, isn't it? Why lie about your name right off the bat? That immediate deception, it's a huge red flag. It's just, maybe hiding something or wanting to control how people see you from the start. It just poisons the well, really. Makes you question everything else.
Exactly. And it gets weirder that same night. Ivan's other roommate, the one who moved in later, he gets home. He'd been visiting his daughters. He tells Ivan that Sean was outside asking for him. For Ivan, said Sean, just appeared out of the shadows by the side of the building, wearing only shorts, and asked the roommate to go get Ivan to help him get something out of his trunk. After the weird gifts, the name lie. Ivan was like, no way, absolutely not going down there. His gut feeling was just screaming no. So you see these early signs, right? The weird gifts, the lie about the name, this creepy late night request. Mm-hmm. What stops someone like Ivan from immediately thinking this guy is dangerous? It seems obvious later, but in the moment.
That's a really key point. Often it's what psychologists call normalization of deviance. We kind of explain away odd behavior. We want to think people are basically good, or maybe we just don't want the hassle, the conflict, right? Plus, if others aren't reacting strongly, you might doubt your own judgment, like a bystander effect. Ivan was trying to avoid drama, which makes sense, but it also meant he was kind of processing these escalating signals alone, making it harder to see the full dangerous picture forming.
Right, and the picture got way clearer the very next morning. Ivan wakes up, heads out for work, stops on the porch, and sees chaos. In the middle of the front yard, Sean had created this. Ivan called it a hobo garden. Basically just garbage piled up, a half-empty fridge with the door ripped off, broken glass everywhere, a patch of dirt dug up, just completely bizarre and unsettling. Ivan calls the landlord immediately. He says, look, this guy Sean is freaking everyone out. Landlord says they'll deal with it. Ivan heads off to work, probably pretty disturbed. When he gets back home, some of the trash is moved, but Sean's not around. Ivan decides, smartest thing is just go upstairs, stay out of it. His intuition is just blaring warnings now. He's inside for maybe 5 minutes. Suddenly yelling starts. Outside his window, not at him, just unhinged yelling. He looks out. It's Sean, throwing the rest of the garbage from the yard into the street, totally losing it, yelling to himself. Another neighbor, Mark, and one of Ivan's roommates run out, try to calm Sean down.
See, this isn't just being eccentric anymore. This is escalating fast. From kind of socially weird to public disturbance. It signals what we might call disorganized behavior. Actions that are really outside social norms, maybe indicating a loss of control or touch with reality. It's not subtle now. It's loud, public, and worrying.
Yeah. Things quieted down after a bit. Ivan's roommate comes back inside, explains Sean was just yelling about how he hadn't done anything wrong. By now it's crystal clear. Sean is unstable. Ivan tells his roommate, just avoid him, don't engage. But things are just spiraling. Only a few hours later, Ivan hears more yelling, and this time, the building walls kind of shake. It sounds like a physical fight. He thinks about calling the cops himself, but decides to text Mark first, since Mark lives on the same floor as Sean. Mark doesn't answer right away, but later, when things are quiet again, he texts back. Confirms Sean got into a massive fight with his girlfriend, like physical. Mark tried to step in, and Sean turned on him, tried to fight Mark. So Mark called the police. And they actually took Sean down to the station. First direct police intervention with Sean. But, it doesn't stop there, not even close. It gets much, much worse. That Friday night, Ivan stays over at his girlfriend's place. Date night, Next morning, Saturday, he wakes up. Phone's blown up. Missed calls, tons of messages. First message he sees is from his roommate. It's a picture. Fire trucks. Outside their building.
The message says Sean burnt down his apartment. Just Sean's apartment damaged, thankfully, but Ivan rushes home immediately. Gets there, Mark and his roommate are on the porch. Sean's story. Oh, it's just the stove acting up. An accident. But when the firefighters checked around the outside of the house, they found vents stuffed with towels and clothes. Like someone was trying to contain fumes, or maybe make something worse. Police called again. Sean taken away again.
That detail about the vents, if we connect the dots, it really points away from just an accident, doesn't it? Stuffing vents suggest planning, premeditation. It elevates this whole thing. Legally, potentially, it's not just negligence, it's intent, which is a much more dangerous mindset, a real disregard for everyone else's safety in that building.
Absolutely terrifying. And still, not the end. Sean gets evicted that week, which, had to happen. But the following Monday, Mark finds out Sean's been released. Just let go. Everyone's on edge, obviously. And sure enough, Tuesday night, someone shows up. It's got to be Sean. Starts smashing windows around the building, tries to get back to apartment 2, his old place, leaves graffiti too, swastikas, and these weird writings like Pigland is free kill and Roy, just disturbing stuff on the back door. Mark's had it. Files a restraining order against Sean immediately. You'd hope that would help, but no. Seems like it just made Sean angrier. Wednesday night rolls around. Ivan wakes up again. More texts flooding his phone. Mark and his roommate had tried to wake him during the night, but he slept through it. He opens Mark's messages first. Lots of them. With pictures attached. The pictures, they're of Mark's car. Completely torched, burned down to the frame. Destroyed. So now Sean's moved from erratic behavior and vandalism to outright arson and targeted attacks. Everyone's living in fear. Expert, this shift now, to targeting Mark's car specifically after the restraining order. What does that tell us?
It's a really dangerous escalation. It's moved from generalized disruption to very specific, targeted retribution. Destroying Mark's car isn't random, it's personal. It signals that Sean isn't just acting out anymore. He's deliberately trying to punish and intimidate individuals he sees as, against him. It often comes from this deep sense of grievance, however warped, and a complete lack of regard for consequences. Classic pattern in serious harassment, even stalking. The threat feels incredibly personal now.
Incredibly personal. The next night, Thursday, all the tenants get together on the front porch. A meeting. Mark shares everything he knows. He'd actually been talking to Sean's mother. She was trying to be helpful, transparent apparently. Told Mark that Sean was planning to skip town. Mark also got security footage. Shows Sean walking to Mark's car that night and then walking away later. Pretty clear evidence. And as they all talk, more stories come out. Just how much Sean had been terrorizing everyone. The woman in apartment 3 saw Sean outside her window one night, just standing there, staring at her, while pouring water from a bag with holes in it. Super weird and creepy. The woman in apartment 4, she'd been getting weird notes, poems, stalker-type stuff in her mail from Sean. So it wasn't just isolated incidents. He was actively targeting multiple people. But then Sean's mom dropped the biggest bombshell, the one that made Ivan's blood run cold. She confirmed Sean had been actively following people. Ivan, his roommates, Mark, the woman in an apartment before. But worse, Sean had followed Ivan to his girlfriend's house and been watching them through her windows.
Wow, that changes everything, doesn't it? Going from building-related issues to actively stalking someone at a different location, invading that deeply... a campaign of psychological terror aimed right at Ivan and, by extension, his girlfriend. It's not just about the apartment building anymore. It's personal, predatory behavior. The sense of safety is just completely shattered.
Completely. Ivan got it immediately. This wasn't just some unstable guy downstairs anymore. Sean was stalking him, stalking his girlfriend, watching them. For the next week, Ivan is basically on high alert constantly, guarding his porch, checking his girlfriend's place, just living in fear, knowing Sean is out there, watching. Thankfully, the relief finally came. A few days later, news arrived. Sean had been arrested, properly this time it seemed. Soon after, Mark and about half the other tenants moved out. Understandably, they'd had enough. Ivan and his roommates. They decided to stay. And luckily, since Sean's arrest, they haven't had any more problems. But man, what a story. You just have to hope, for their sake, Sean stays locked up for a good long time. This whole account, Ivan and Sean, it really drives home how your safe space, your home, can turn into the epicenter of fear when a neighbor becomes a menace. It really makes you think, how do you even begin to feel safe again after something like that, even when the person is gone?
Absolutely. What this really underscores is the unpredictable path behavior can take, and how vital it is to recognize those early warning signs. Not just recognize them, but document them, talk to others, and maybe get authorities involved sooner rather than later. Dismissing those initial weird things, it can clearly lead down a very dark path.
A truly chilling story to reflect on. If you found this account compelling, please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Horror Docs. We bring you more unsettling stories and explore these kinds of situations. We hope you have a peaceful rest of your day. And, well, until next time, please stay safe out there.